Hey there! Welcome back to Fact Frenzy. Chipmunks and squirrels are some of the cutest critters you'll find in forests, parks, and even your backyard. But have you ever wondered how to tell them apart? While they both look like small, nut-hoarding animals, they have some key differences that make them unique. In this video, we'll go over everything from their physical features to their behavior, so you'll know how to spot the difference next time you see one. The first and most noticeable difference between chipmunks and squirrels is their size and build. Chipmunks are smaller, usually about 5 to 6 inches long, not including their tail. They have shorter, more compact bodies with small, rounded heads. On the other hand, squirrels are larger and more varied in size depending on the species. Tree squirrels, for example, range from 10 to 20 inches in body length, and they tend to have more slender, elongated bodies compared to chipmunks. So if you see a tiny, compact critter, it's likely a chipmunk, while a larger, lankier animal is probably a squirrel. One of the easiest ways to tell these two apart is by looking at their fur pattern. Chipmunks have very distinctive stripes running down their backs and faces. These stripes are usually black, white, and brown, and go all the way from their head to their tail. Squirrels, in contrast, don't have stripes. Their fur is typically solid-colored, ranging from gray to brown, black, or even reddish in some species. So if you see a critter with stripes, it's definitely a chipmunk. Tails are another big difference between chipmunks and squirrels. Squirrels have large, bushy tails that they use for balance, warmth, and even as a parachute when they leap from branch to branch. Chipmunks, however, have a much shorter and less bushy tail. Their tails are straighter and less fluffy, which suits their lifestyle since they tend to stay closer to the ground and don't need as much balance for climbing. Now let's talk about where you'll find these animals. Chipmunks are mostly ground dwellers, although they can climb if they need to. They dig intricate burrows with multiple chambers underground, where they store food, sleep, and hide from predators. Squirrels, on the other hand, are known for their climbing skills. Tree squirrels live high up in trees, where they build nests called drays. You'll often spot them hopping from branch to branch, using their sharp claws and bushy tails to keep their balance. Both chipmunks and squirrels love food, but they go about gathering and storing it a little differently. Chipmunks are famous for their cheek pouches, which they use to stuff food like nuts, seeds, and berries. They bring this food back to their burrows, where they stash it away for winter. Squirrels don't have cheek pouches, so they carry food in their mouths. They're known for burying nuts in the ground to retrieve later. Tree squirrels use a technique called scatter hoarding, where they hide food in many different locations to protect it from being stolen by other animals. Chipmunks and squirrels also make different sounds. Chipmunks tend to make high-pitched chirps or sharp chip noises, especially when they feel threatened. They'll sit up on their hind legs and chirp to alert others to danger. Squirrels, on the other hand, make a wider range of sounds. They can produce a variety of chattering noises, kook-kook sounds, and even high-pitched squeals. Squirrels are also more vocal when warning others about predators or when defending their territory. Chipmunks are generally solitary creatures. They spend most of their time alone, only coming together during mating season. Each chipmunk has its own burrow, which it defends from other chipmunks. Squirrels, however, are a bit more social. Although they don't form large groups, you might see them interacting or chasing each other in parks and backyards. They can be playful, and some squirrels even cooperate in defending food sources or territory. Chipmunks and squirrels have different lifespans and reach maturity at different ages. In the wild, chipmunks live an average of 2 to 3 years, although some may live longer in captivity. Squirrels tend to live a little longer, with an average lifespan of 6 to 12 years in the wild. Squirrels also tend to mature more quickly than chipmunks, reaching full size in just a few months. Both chipmunks and squirrels are diurnal, which means they're active during the day, but they have slightly different activity patterns. Chipmunks are most active in the early morning and late afternoon, avoiding the midday heat. Squirrels, on the other hand, are active throughout the day, often seen in parks or yards during mid-morning and late afternoon. In winter, squirrels don't hibernate, but they do slow down, only coming out to retrieve their hidden food. A big difference between chipmunks and squirrels is how they handle winter. Chipmunks hibernate. During the colder months, they retreat into their burrows and enter a state of torpor. They wake up every few days to eat from their stored food and then go back to sleep. Squirrels, on the other hand, do not hibernate. They stay active in winter, although they might be a little less energetic. Squirrels rely on the food they buried earlier in the year, digging through the snow to find their hidden caches. So to recap, if you see a small, striped-back critter with a compact body and cheek pouches, that's a chipmunk. If it's a larger animal with a bushy tail and no stripes, it's a squirrel. Now that you know these key differences, you'll be able to identify chipmunks and squirrels easily. Both play important roles in nature, from spreading seeds to controlling insect populations. So let's appreciate these little animals every time we see them in action.